Chapter 7. The Sushant Lok police station in Gurugram is a 10-minute drive from my in-laws' place as well as the Icon. The leafy compound with a yellowing low-risk Sarkari building stood in sharp contrast to the swanky skyscrapers of Gurugram. It felt like things moved at their own pace at the station, with various cops carrying files from one room to the other in slow motion. There were a lot of people, either to complain about something or answer the police questions. Most were there for routine work, to sort out passport verification issue or register their domestic help. In between such mundane jobs, I wondered how these cops could switch to handling serious crimes. My father-in-law's clout and our arrival in two Mercedes cars meant we received more attention than other visitors. I was in daze. I had checked Sia's recently dialed numbers and the friends she had messaged on WhatsApp. I had called all of them. Nobody had any idea about where she might be. Inspector Chautala had arranged for extra chairs in his office, and my in-laws Manish and I sat there surrounded by files. He had a computer on his desk as well as two landline phones on which he constantly made calls for 2 hours. Yes, I am sending you the pictures, Chautala said on a phone to another station in Gurugram. Yes, circulate it to Delhi police and to Manesar's district too. Spread it on the walkie to all gypsies. Sia Arora, 12 years, very fair, greenish grey eyes, curly hair. Could be with a man wearing a watch and friendship bands. Yes, inform. Noida police too, good idea. Faridabad also. Inspector Chautala ended the call and turned to us. I have informed as much of the police force as possible, he said. You gave me some pictures, but please share more, always helpful. Sure, thank you, sir, Manish said. Any information at all yet, Inspector, sir? I said, finding it difficult to construct a sentence. Inspector Chautala shook his head. The first 24 hours are crucial. We have told the police in the entire National Capital Region. If someone spots anything, they will inform us immediately. I bit my lip. I couldn't control myself anymore. I broke down. No, beta, stay strong, Papaji said. My Sia, what has happened to her? I cried. Manish held my hand. Mamiji looked away. It's 4 o'clock, Chautala said. Assuming that the earliest the abduction could have happened was midnight, it's still 8 hours more to 24 hours. What is so special about 24 hours? Manish said. In kidnapping cases, we usually find out something within a day. If not, chances drop. Chances of what drop? I said, hysteria in my voice. Nothing, madam. These are some statistics. Let's focus on the important decision. What do we do now about informing the media? Are you sure about the media at this stage, sir? Everyone we know will find out then that someone has taken our girl, Mamiji said. Chautala swiveled on his creaky chair towards her. It can speed things up, madam. Alert the common man. Increase chances of a sighting. It also has disadvantages. It's completely your call. What disadvantages? Manish said. The kidnappers get alerted. He could get scared and panic. And of course, like madam said, it will bring a lot of unwanted attention. Also, the media moves in its own unpredictable way. We shouldn't tell the media yet. It hasn't even been a day. Alia, are you sure she didn't run off on her own? Mamiji said. No, Mamiji, why would she run away? She was a happy kid. With a boy? Mamiji said. Inspector sir said these things happen. No, Mamiji, Sia is not like that. Sia didn't take any money or her phone. What are you people even talking about? How could she vanish in the middle of the night? Suhana told us what happened. She is 6, Mamiji said. Can you two please not argue? Let us remain one for God's sake, Manish said. We have to decide something here, media or no media.
Not so soon. People just watch the tamasha. Nobody helps. Let the police do their job, Mamiji said. I think we should, I said, glaring at Mamiji. Whatever can help, let's do it. Mamiji stood up abruptly and waved her hand in the air. Then do what you feel like. Shamsher, why are we even here? Let's go. It's claustrophobic here. Nobody in my entire khandan even came to the police station. Sit, Durga, Papaji said. Why? My grandson are alone in the house. Let me be there for them. In our home, we take care of our kids. That hit me hard. Maybe it was her toxic tone or the implication that I hadn't taken care of Sia, leading to her abduction. Perhaps it was my current state of mind and I needed to vent. I forgot Manish's keep the peace principle. She was taken from your house, where we trusted we would be safe. Nothing like this could have ever happened at the Icon. Alia, Papaji spoke in an undertone. We can't quarrel in public. Shamsher, are you coming or should I go back alone? Mamiji said. Papaji looked at his wife. It's okay, Manish said. Papaji, you take Mamiji home. We will call if we need anything.
My in-laws left. Manish and I remained in the inspector's office. I felt dizzy. I had had nothing to eat or drink all day apart from half a cup of tea. Chautala offered me a glass of water. I refused it. His phone rang. A ray of hope lit up in me. However, it was just a routine work call for Chautala on some other issue. Who were the important people in your daughter's life? Chautala said after ending the phone conversation. Friends, family, I said. School friends? Mostly a couple of building friends. All her age? Yes, more or less. Boys, girls, majority of them girls. Parvati, Ravi, and Manish Sharma are her close friends. Most of her calls and messages are to them. Chautala noted down their names and numbers from Sia's phone. They are her school friends? Yes, class 7, Ambience Valley School. It's in phase 5? Yes, 1 kilometer from the Icon. The inspector nodded, taking frantic notes. Any boys she spoke to? Chautala said. I looked at the inspector. Please, madam, don't get me wrong. I am being thorough. There's a boy, Aryan Sinha. I have heard his name sometimes. He and Sia are friends. Any messages with him on the phone? I saw some chats, jokes about teachers making fun of other classmates, that sort of stuff. Chautala took Sia's phone. He opened the chat between her and Aryan. There are hugs and kisses emoji, Chautala said. Would you say they were close? No, sir. Kids talk like that these days. Not all kids, Chautala said, handing Sia's phone back to me. Will the words stop judging my child and help find her? I have called up all her friends, spoken to their parents too. They have no clue, I said, feeling nauseous. You told them your daughter is missing? No, I just said that she went somewhere and left her phone behind. Good. Any grown-ups she interacted with? Anybody? Manish said. Anybody on a regular basis. In such cases, there is a good chance the victim and the abductor know each other. Family, my in-laws, who you met, I said. Yes, I have known Manish Chi's parents since long. Our family is our entire world. We have a family business. We are all very close. Chautala said, biting the pen. He looked inconvenienced. Maybe the Saas Bahu showdown he had just seen didn't make us seem so close. Your family, Alia madam? Chautala said. No siblings, only my mother who lived in Kochi. Your father? My father was in the army. He died on duty in Kashmir when I was 16. Sorry to hear that, Chautala said. Any other grown-ups in Sia's life? Teacher, servant, driver, anybody? Your child mentioned. Their class teacher is Mrs. Gupta. All her teachers are female? Chautala said. Yes, but why is that important? Inspector, I said. Inspector Chautala let out a sigh. Alia ji, there is no ransom demand call or note so far, right? None, Manish said. No financial motive. then what is the motive? We cannot rule out another angle, especially when the abducted child is a young female. What angle? A sexual motive. I gasped. I felt I would faint. Manish held me so I could sit upright. Madam, please have something to eat, Chautala said. I shook my head. I would not eat until I found Sia. My child was 12, a baby. How could anyone think of her even remotely in a sexual way? I'm not saying that's what happened. I am just saying we can't rule that out. Any man she interacted with, Chautala said. I looked at Manish. We have a cook, Manohar, at my parents' place. Been with us for 5 years at least, Manish said. Anything shady about him? Not that I know of, Alia. What is he like? He is a good food, hardworking, but he keep complaining about his salary and his obligations back in his village. My mother-in-law say he may be stealing groceries, nothing more than that. Any other man employed by you? No. Our full-time help at Icon is a woman, Neelu. My parents have Manohar. They also have drivers, Manoj and Diljit. Both been working with the family for over 10 years. You have a driver? No, my office is 5 minutes from home, so I drive. If we need a driver, we call him from Papaji's place, Manish said. Okay, we will talk to all your support staff. I will need everyone's name and numbers. Manish noted down the detail of our support staff in this inspector's notebook. Anyone else? Chautala said. Dharmesh, her tutor. He's like 21, I said. Oh, Chautala said, looking interested. What kind of tutor? Maths. He is a math graduate and a full-time tutor for many students in their school. Teaches Sia twice a week, 2 hours at a time. Where? At home usually. Once or twice at my in-laws' house if we are there for the weekend and Sia has a test on Monday. Good. We definitely have to talk to him, Chautala said. Manish and I nodded. I checked the time. It was 5:30. Sir, let's inform the media, I said. Wait, Manish said. Inspector sir, what do you think? They will find out sooner or later anyway, Chautala said. And we don't have any information yet. No harm sending out a missing girl press release with a photo. What if someone recognizes her? Manish looked at me. The kidnapper could hurt Sia if he sees the news being flashed on TV, he said. He could take her far away if we can't catch him soon, I said. 12-year-old girl kidnapped from Gurugram jeweler's house. The headline flashed on the local news channel. Other national channels displayed the news on the ticket at the bottom of the screen. High-profile kidnapping from Gurugram, Bangalore. Sia Arora, 12, abducted from grandparents' house. The anchor showed Sia's picture we had given to the police. In one, she held a trophy. She had won it at an inter-school dance competition. She had performed a Kuchipudi dance, reenacting the mythological story of Menka, who was sent by Indra to break Vishwamitra's meditation. The crowd had given her a standing ovation. She had later told me that was the happiest day of her life. I bit my lip as I saw her smiling picture on TV. The enter spoke briskly. Last night, a 12-year-old girl, Sia Arora, a student of Ambience Valley School, was kidnapped from her grandparents' house in Gurugram. The parents say they had gone to the house for the weekend. Sia's young sister, 6-year-old Suhana, was apparently awake and saw an intruder walk Sia out to the children's room at knife point. The channel flashed a police helpline number. That's our phone number, Chautala said. We will be the first to know if anyone has any information. My phone rang, Papaji. You saw? He said. Yes. You informed the media? No choice, Papaji. Time is running out. Beta, it's not even been a day. Kids leave house sometimes, right? If they are upset over something. She wasn't upset. You were quite strict with her. Are you sure she wasn't angry with you about something? My mother-in-law's voice on the other side surprised me. I realized Papaji had me on speaker.
Mummy ji, please don't start this again, I said. I stepped out of Chautala's office and whispered on the phone, and please don't give the police such theories. They will stop looking. I'm standing on their head so they do their work. We are only trying to help, Mamiji said. I heard their home landline ring. She continued, we are getting non-stop calls because you broadcast our family problem on TV. She ended the call. I went back into Chautala's office. Manish noticed my frazzled expression. He raised his eyebrow. I shook my head slightly. No time to get distracted. Inspector Chautala was eating his dinner. Did anyone call on the helpline yet? I said. No, madam, Chautala said, taking a spoon of curd to his mouth. The news just came on TV. Be patient. Alia, sir is trying his best, Manish said. I watched the inspector tear a roti. He noticed me looking at him. Madam, please eat something. You cannot go on like this, he said. I shook my head and looked away. 4 hours later, the dusty wall clock in the police station struck midnight. Chautala yawned as he ended a call to his wife. Madam, it's late. Let's continue tomorrow, Chautala said to me. I had told my wife this morning I was just going to Mr. Arora's house for a few minutes. I haven't gone home since. Of course, sir, Manish said, standing up. I can't even tell you how thankful we are for all the efforts you put in today. Chautala stood up as well. Every NCR police station is on a high alert. All traffic police gypsies know about it. They have pictures. We have checkpoints. TV channels are flashed the helpline number. Someone somewhere ought to see her. Thank you, sir. You must go home and rest, I said. Come, Alia, Manish said. I shook my head as I continued to sit in Chautala's office. What? Manish said. I will wait here. You guys go home and sleep. I will see you here in the morning. Are you crazy? You have to come home, Manish said. I shook my head hard. I'm not leaving until I find my daughter, I said and burst into tears. I don't exactly recall what happened then. Exhaustion came over me. Manish grabbed my hand and pulled me out of the office. I reached home in a daze. Manish gave me a sleeping pillow with a glass of orange juice. He ensured I finished the juice. I went to the hall and switched on the TV. Local channel were running the news about Sia. Manish paced around the bedroom, distraught, dealing with his own pain even as he maintained his composure in front of me. I don't know when my eyes shut. Sia's smiling face flashed before my eyes before the sleeping pills knocked me out.